Hey guys, so we're going to start with a little bit of review of suffixes. Remember, a suffix can be added, the suffix s can be added on the end of an action word or an object. Alright, so it can either mean more than one, or it can mean that the action is happening like right now. So, we're going to start with a word. Let's sound out this first word first. Let's sound it out first, and then we'll mark it up. And then we'll decide if it was an action word or an object. All right. Ins. 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 Pins. Remember that S can make the S sound or the Z sound. Pins. Pins. Let's mark it up. So I'm going to underline my base word first. Without my S, my base word is just pin. Underline my word pin. And what do we do to the suffix s? We circle it. Pins. Pins. Now, this is a special word. It can be an action word, but it can also be an object. If I have a pin, like a safety pin, I could have multiple pins, multiple safety pins, an object. I could also say, she pins a flower onto his jacket. So she might be attaching a pin with something else to someone's clothing. Or she pins up the laundry with clothespins. So this one actually can be an action word or an object. All right, we're gonna do some sentence scrambling now using sight words, well, trick words that we've learned and words that we've learned. It might even have a suffix in one of the words. But I sometimes write sentences with words out of order, so you're gonna have to help me. All right, here is our sentence. All right, here we go. I'm gonna show it to you. We're gonna read it. Oh, I know this one's a trick word. Are, that's a trick word too. Where, glue it down. All, trick word. The, shells. Shells. Let's read it all together. Are, where, all the shells. Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Let's review some of the things I remember about every good sentence. I know every good sentence starts with a capital letter or an uppercase letter, so big letter. I know every good sentence is a complete thought. This one is not a complete thought. It doesn't make any sense. Are where all the shells? That doesn't make sense. And I know the third important thing about a sentence is that there's a punctuation mark at the end. Well, I do see a punctuation mark at the end of my sentence, so at least that's right. So we need to make this a complete thought, and we need to make sure that the letter at the beginning of the sentence is a capital letter. So let's see what we can do to the sentence. I see a question mark, and I also remember that this word here is a question word. Do you remember what the word was? What word is this? Where. So I know when it's a question word, it usually comes at the beginning of the sentence. So let's try that. Let's switch these two words around and put it at the beginning of my sentence, because I also noticed that it has a capital letter, an uppercase letter, big letter. All right, so. All right, now let's read it. Here we go. Where are all the shells? Let's read it a little bit faster. Where are all the shells? Where are all the shells? Does that make a little more sense? All right, let's double check our 3-sentence rule. Is there a capital letter at the beginning of our sentence? Yes. Is it a complete thought? Does it make sense? Yes. Is there a punctuation mark at the end of our sentence? Yes. All right, so our sentence is good to go. Now we can mark it up. Where are all the shells? Let's start with our first word. I know where is a question word, but I also know we learned about it and it's a trick word. So I'm going to what? Circle it. What about my next word? Are. That is also a trick word. Now this one's a special one. Two things. It's a trick word and it's a glued sound. Nice. So I'm going to box it in because it is a glued sound. But I'm also going to circle it because I also know it's a trick word. All right, what about this next one? The is a trick word. Circle it. And I know that TH is a digraph. Almost forgot. WH is a digraph too. All right, last word. Shells. How do we mark it up? Underline the digraph. SH makes one sound. It's two letters that make one sound. It's a digraph. There's two L's. So I make a little star because those are bonus letters. F, L, S, and sometimes Z. Oh, and there's a suffix S at the end, so what do I have to do with that suffix S? I have to circle it, and with the rest of the word, the base word is just shell, so I'm going to underline shell. Nice job!